Welcome back to North Texas Jeep Renegades. We're actually out here in Llano, Texas today, doing a little bit of camping, and I wanted to take a moment and do a walk around of one of my favorite Renegades out there. It's Mavis Mayhem, owned by Philip and Kay Storm. So if you guys have a moment, I'd like to give y'all a walk around of this beautiful Jeep. Alright, so I'm here with Mr. Philip Storm. Philip, what can you tell me about the about your Renegade? What year is it?
2016 Renegade Trailhawk. Bought it right at the end of 2016. It was literally the last orange Trailhawk in Texas that was for sale.
And this is your second Renegade, actually.
Yeah, we had a 2015 Latitude two-wheel drive. It was the Commando green color, and we liked it so much we decided we'd upgrade to a four-wheel drive, and it had to be a Trailhawk because, you know, it's just the way to go.
Oh, that sounds good. And on this one, y'all named it Mavis. Where did y'all get the name?
My wife just said, when she saw it, she said, "There's Mavis," and that's it. The name just stuck, and that's how it's been ever since we've had it. You know, it's just. She said it looks like Mavis, and so it became Mavis after that. And actually, Mavis Mayhem, because, you know, she's always in trouble. It seems like, you know.
She does like to get herself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have taken this all over.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been to Moab twice. We've done first year we were there, we did bends and things and ran almost the whole trail. We did about 3/4 of it, and then next time we went, we actually did Hell's Revenge and ran the whole trail. Did a Snibley Road in Sedona, Arizona. Of course, she's been to Northwest RV Park, and we've, you know, done that. And she's been to a lot of other places. She's been all over New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada.
She's a well-traveled girl, that's for sure.
She's kind of seen a lot of the countryside, especially the western part of the country. Yeah, we really like it out there.
So it looks like you have a snorkel on here. Who's it by?
It's an Avid Arrow snorkel. We went with the Arrow because I just like the way it flows into the body and everything. It just, you know, it just looks like it belongs on it almost. I mean, it's just a nice, you know, the way it fits and everything.
Contours nicely.
Contours nice with the body and everything. I mean, it almost looks like it, you know, should be there, you know. So.
It does. It does. I noticed that you guys have a really nice rack. It's a platform rack.
Yeah. And
it's one of the better ones I've seen by far. Who's it by?
It's a Rhino Rack Pioneer SX platform. It's 54 inches wide, 60 inches long. It's got the Rhino Rack 100 SX legs and crossbars. And then we got some Rhino Rack accessories. We've got the Rhino Rack side mounts for the Max Tracks, Rhino Rack Rotopax mount. Let's see, got our Pelican vault case on the other side with the Rhino Rack mounts, and also have a ARB 2000 series Tyrian awning. You know, like the kind of set up a little bit like a little Overland vehicle, I guess. I mean, we like the awning, we can deploy it, and then
you guys do a lot of camping,
right?
So
yeah,
it gets used. It definitely gets used.
And the box has got a little bit of recovery gear in it, and some just odds and ends that we can carry that they're kind of accessible from the roof and everything. And yeah, it's a really nice rack. I mean, it's real configurable. I mean, we can configure it a whole bunch of different ways. Like now, I'm carrying some front runner cub packs on it, and a front runner monsoon bag and our typhoon bag, and it all fits up there real nice. And then our Gazelle T4 tent fits up there too, and it works out pretty good.
That's nice. And then are those the Rocky Road sliders?
Yeah, they're the Rocky Road Super Sliders. I like them because they had the bar on the side, so I can actually use them to access the roof, you know, get access to the roof. And they've saved the rockers. I can tell you, the Hell's Revenge in Moab, they got to work out, you know.
Yeah, it's a very, very challenging trail, especially with the breakovers.
Right. And it's Of course, we've got the Avid rear bumper on it. I mean, we've actually bought that bumper before the bumper with the spare tire carrier came out, or I'd probably would have it instead of this one. But
it still looks good and gives you that tow hitch.
Yeah, and it also gives us a lot better departure angle and everything. Because I kind of did a number on the stock bumper on fins and things the first time we went to Moab, so it was time to do a new bumper.
And then so give you a few more recovery options.
Right.
It looks like you got the
hitch once, and then got the bumper. So we've got some, recovery options are kind of open if we need do be recovered or recover someone, so we can.
You can have some of the OG badges.
Yeah, I need to pull those off, but I kind of like them actually. So
it just shows how long ago you were able to complete it.
Yeah. We actually did black gap 4x4 trail in it, totally stock except for the KO2s, and we were the first Renegade to actually complete that trail. So we were pretty proud of it for that and everything. I mean, a lot of people have done it since then, but it's kind of cool to be the first one.
Yeah. And then what suspension are you running on this?
It has a teraflex 1.5-inch lift, and I have Eibach Pro lift springs. And so looking at probably about a 2.5-inch total lift on everything.
And one of the cool things about the teraflex lift is you get those quick disconnects in the front. How often do you disconnect?
I don't run the front sway bar at all. I mean, with the Eibachs on it, it really doesn't make any difference. I mean, you notice it a little bit, but you get used to it pretty quick. And probably if I hit the sway bar up now, I'd go, "Hey, what's this? What's going on here?" Because it probably handled like a little sport car or something. But we've gotten used to it. It's got a little more body roll than it would normally have, but nothing major.
I found that when we disconnect the front sway bar, it actually gives a little bit more smooth of a ride, especially over bumps too.
Yeah, and it seems like if you're out like on a trail, it's not as much toss, head toss and stuff like that, because it's not, the front suspension is independent that way. You don't have something connecting it.
Right.
And it's just, it hasn't been connected since I put the lift on it, honestly.
That's nice. I know we recently disconnected the sway bar and we don't even run it anymore on Arctica.
Yeah.
All right. What can you tell me about the wheels?
They're Mayhem Warrior, matte black Mayhem Warrior. They're a +30 offset. They're 7.5 inches wide. They're 7.5 inch wide, 17-inch wheel. I'm also running kind of a generic Amazon 1-inch wheel spacer behind them, just to push them out a little bit. But with the 225 KOs, you don't really need the front spacer, but I just want to get it look good.
Like the stance a little bit better.
I like the stance a little better.
It does sit flush with the body with that wheel spacer and that wheel offset.
Yeah, I think the wheel's only a .39 spaced out further than the stock wheels were, so we're about almost 1.5 inches out. It was 1.39, I believe, is what it actually specs out to be. So,
and you said you're running the 225 KO2s?
Yeah, 225 65. This is actually our second set on this one, and they've been a real good tire for us. They're a little heavy, they're a little noisy, but I'd trade off the fuel mileage for the durability of the tire for where we go, because we live in West Texas and everything wants to stick them, poke them, do something to them. So
right. And they've definitely been durable and can withstand them.
Yeah, it's getting down pretty close to another set of tires, and I'm contemplating that it'll probably wind up with another set of KOs on it, because I really like them. They've been good tires for us. I mean,
awesome.
We never left us stranded anywhere or anything like that. Never had any sidewall issues. You can look at the wheels, and they have some trail mats on them. So obviously they've been used. Some big rocks and stuff like that. Yeah.
I've seen you off-road this quite a bit. They definitely get used. You've done black gap and all that. You've done black gap several times, even when it was in stock form.
Twice, yeah. Once when it was totally stock, except for the tire, and back in 2017, right after we got it. And then another time, this past year at Christmas time, we actually went back down there and ran it again, and it did a lot better, because it is had a lot more miles into it, but it did great.
Do you have any like a pedal assist or transmission flashes or
a Hike It 9 engine controller? It's got 9 different settings plus an auto setting. I normally just run it in the autos, and it's really makes the transmission a lot more responsive and everything. This 9-speed, you know, it's not the most responsive thing, the throttle input. So when you have it in that auto mode, I mean, it downshifts much quicker, and you know, it'll actually get out of its own way because it, you know, it can get in the right gear and everything.
It's nice.
And
do you use it whenever you go off-roading?
No, I usually turn it off because it makes it so sensitive. And then, like if I'm in rock mode or something like that, you know, it changes the throttle mapping anyway. So I just usually turn it off and not use it. I've tried it with it on, and it's just way too sensitive.
Way too touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard to modulate when you're going over an obstacle or something that way. You know.
You definitely want slower wheel speed on things like that, so you don't break traction.
Right. Also have the Valkyrie rear disc skid. I've got the carrier bearing skid. Still running the stock Trailhawk skid on the front, but
yeah, that front one's just fine that we found.
Yeah,
it's been protecting pretty nice.
You know, the rear diff, because if I knew then what I know now, I'm still running the cradle drop spacers and the teraflex. I'd pull them. I need to pull those back out and pull those out and gain the clearance for the diff. But the rear diff slider has gotten the work out. You know, it's definitely, you know, worth the money. I mean, it's saved the differential and
several times.
It's literally probably had the weight of the Jeep on it before on the rocks and stuff. So it's yeah. Corey Kelly makes a nice product, that's for sure. Yeah.
I'd noticed that you have a cell phone mount in there, and is that just stuck to the air vent?
It's just actually stuck to the air vent. It's just a Rome mount. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's kind of nice up there. I mean, for just kind of something to stick up there, it works really well. It's just an X grip with a suction cup, and works out pretty nice. Also have, it's kind of messy right now, but I actually have these Blue Ridge Overland bags that we carry, that we have like our tire stuff in, and then we have a first aid kit on the other seat over there that we carry, and then I've got the Molly panel with some other odds and ends in it that we use, and one of our little radios, our Baofeng radios.
And this is definitely how it looks when you go camping in the Renegade.
Oh yeah, it just kind of just stuffed full.
Yep. We've all been there.
have a Viair 400P auto air pump, and I'm using a four tire end deflate so I can air all 4 tires up at once, and it's just got it, so I'm just kind of getting used to it. About rolling it back up, it's like a big bunch of spaghetti, but you know, I'll get quicker at it as we go. Yeah. It's kind of neat to be able to air all 4 tires up.
And it levels their tire pressures.
It levels all 4 tires. I mean, if I want 35 pounds air in the tires, all 4 of them have 35 in them when I'm done. Or if I want to air down to 18,
all air down.
Down to 18, and it doesn't take hardly any time at all to do it. You know, overall, I mean, it's almost the way we want it. I mean, I don't think they're ever finished, you know.
No.
You know, so there's still a few things I'd like to do to it, but for right now, it's for a Renegade, it's a pretty good little trail rig, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely done stuff. We've done stuff with it that I never thought we'd do with it, you know, and you know, it's just so much more capable than people give them credit for and everything.
It really is.
I mean, for basically a lifted car, it does pretty well.
It does. It does. Alrighty, Mr. Phillip, well, I'm gonna let you get back to packing. As I said, we were out here camping the last couple of days. We went down to the Root event. Yep. And that was fun.
A real good time there. Yeah. It's always really fun to get together with everybody, and you know, and especially the new people that haven't ever done it before. It's always kind of fun to watch them and figure out what their vehicle.
I saw a couple sports out there with 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, you know, 2-wheel drive sports. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, I mean, back when we had our Latitude, I actually went off out to Hidden Falls with a 2-wheel drive and did more things than I thought we could do even in it. So even in 2-wheel drive form with a good tire on them, they're relatively capable. Even
and then you throw in the Trailhawk trim with all-wheel drive, and it changes the game altogether.
It's pretty much a game changer. Yeah, I mean, it was just. It's like night and day, you know, going from our Latitude to this. And, you know, even though they were both 2.4s with 9 speeds in them and everything, it's just
completely different.
So much different, yeah.
Alrighty, Phillip. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and talking to us about Mavis here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And then we'll definitely, you know, I know we're gonna go camping again together.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But alrighty, well, I do appreciate it, Phillip.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kay and Philip, again for sharing Mavis with us all. Please take a moment to like and subscribe our video to see all of our future content. See you guys next time.